everybody, you're now listening to Cup of Queens with Paige and Saray, and today we're so excited. We have Nicole Allmendinger, who is the owner of Pure Barre in Fargo. Nicole is so full of joy, motivation, and encouragement, not only in the fitness world, but also to those outside of her circle. Nicole talks with us about her fitness journey from being an asthmatic cheerleader on the sidelines to now running marathons and being the owner of her own fitness studio. She also talks with us about how important it is to have a healthy mindset, ways to feel your best self, and all of her favorite fitness must-haves. So grab your cup and enjoy. Well, we're so excited. Nicole, thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we're here with Nicole, the owner of Pure Barre here in Fargo. And Saray and I love fitness. We're not as probably fit as a lot of our other listeners. We're not diehards. We're not diehards. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But we do love it. We do. And we'd love to hear more about your journey and everything. So tell us about Pure Barre.
Pure Barre. Well, a little bit about me. I was not into fitness either.
Really?
Lifelong asthmatic. Like,
wow.
I was the kid sitting out puffing an inhaler. Oh. So I was an asthmatic cheerleader. But
hey, we gotta be someone.
Yeah. Everybody needs a cheerleader. So that was my history. In my 30s, after kids, a friend said, "Let's run the Fargo 5K next year." I'm like, "What? Uh-huh. That is 3 miles. I better start training Monday." So Monday morning, I woke up before anyone else because I didn't want anyone to see asthmatic Nicole on the streets. And I ran a block, walked a block, went from there. And eventually by the end of the summer, I did a 5K. And from there, it just went and went. And I decided I love being a runner now that I have Advair medication. Anyways, so, but with that, I should probably say this. My husband, he's the president of Kilburn Group. So his passion for the past 20 years has been growing a vibrant downtown Fargo. Mm-hmm. I've been along for the ride, worked in the office alongside him. Eventually it's like, what can I do downtown? Yeah. What can I bring? You know, we have great restaurants and we're still getting more, and boutiques and all the fun things. But I'm like, what are we missing? And what am I passionate about? Mm-hmm. We were on one of our yearly ski trips to Bozeman Big Sky, and we were staying downtown Bozeman the first night. And I saw this studio across the street on Mendenhall Avenue, which is where I grew up on Mendenhall.
Weird.
As a
That's
child.
Cool.
And I'm looking at the studio and I'm seeing all these cool people walking into the studio at like 6 a.m. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
We went skiing, forgot all about it, and mid-January, it popped up in my head again, started doing some internet researching, and I found who the owner was. Mm-hmm. Instant messaged her as a crazy stalker person. I mean, it would be weird, but I did. And turns out she was originally from Williston, North Dakota.
Oh, what? Wow.
Yeah, went to UND. We had a few people that we knew in common, and she said, "This is Pure Barre." And I'm like, "Oh, no. I hate bar." I'm like, I can't do that. I was all in, and then you said it's bar. But so a couple friends and my sister and myself, we all went back out to Bozeman. Yeah. Took 2 classes and Pure Barre Fargo.
And you loved it. That's so cool.
Well, and the reason that I loved it is the format. So, and it takes it's like not love at first sight, you know? Yeah. Because it's an uncomfortable exercise at times. It's, you know, using your muscles to the point of fatigue where they're actually shaking. Yeah. Anyways, so it wasn't love at first sight, but it became that. And I don't know, I feel that it's been a really fun journey. And now, I mean, so we opened in 2018, October of 2018. Okay. So this month is our 3-year anniversary, which at the end of the month, we have some fun plan.
Oh, that's so exciting. Okay. Time flies.
Yeah, it does.
That is
I mean, unfortunately, we were shut down for a while, which we all know.
Sure.
Let's try to put that in the past.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Let's get past that. But yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really curious. I've never done bar. You maybe have
I've
a
done
couple
bar
times,
a couple
right?
of times, yeah.
So, and I'm sure there's a lot of our listeners who haven't. Can you kind of walk us through what that looks like?
Yes, I would love to do that. So the reason that I ended up falling in love with it, the way one of our clients, Sarah Olpet, explains it is that you're strengthening your muscles from the inside out. Like all of those small internal, not the obvious, I'm lifting 20-pound weights.
Yeah.
It's everything. And it's a full body workout. Whereas the bar that I had taken, it seemed like it focused more just on the thighs, the seat. It wasn't full body. Our class has a specific flow. So every time, our classic class is 50 minutes. Our Empower class, which is a cardio version, which we have a couple cardio bursts, which sometimes include, burpees and mountain climbers.
Oh, gosh.
Those lung burners.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. Gotta do them sometimes. So that's another version. And then our third version is called Reform, which simulates a Pilates reformer. We use resistance bands and sliders. Nice. So there's a lot of balance in that whole internal muscle movement. But the flow of class, we start with a warm-up, and that includes small weights. We use 2-pound, 3-pound weights. That's it.
Cool.
When I took my first class and I reached for the 5-pound weights, my now partner took them out of my hand, and I'm like, you don't even know me.
I'm not that weak. What are you talking about?
I know. And then by the end of class with these 2-pound weights, and your arms are shaking in the first 15 minutes.
Wow.
But so we start with warming up our body. We use our triceps, biceps, all of the above. Every class we do a 90-second plank, not just a straight up plank. Like we make sure to break it up a bit so you don't go mental and count for 90 seconds. And then from there we stretch. Every muscle group we work, we do a stretch afterwards to lengthen the muscles that you have just used, creating that long, lean muscle. Hopefully, some people prefer the bulk, some do not.
Yeah.
So after that whole upper body, we do thigh exercises, and we do 3 every class, a top, inner, outer.
Oh, cool.
So you're targeting every muscle in the leg, and then stretch, and then we don't call it butt, we call it seats. Seats. So we do a lower seat, and then our side seat that gives you that little apricot look, kind of.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And then,
sign me up.
Yep.
I need that so bad. I'm always like, I feel like I could do 1,000,000 squats and can never target that area.
Yes, and it's all the way around. Like today, you have to be at this certain angle, and the importance of it also, people think that big movements are better. And in some exercises they are. I appreciate all forms. But in our specific, we put you to the point where the muscle is engaged, and you just go an inch in and out of there.
Yeah.
So you're almost in an isometric hold the whole time, working that specific muscle, which is different than most forms of exercise. So there's a seat, stretch, and then we go to the floor and we do a whole core, and then top, middle, lower abs. We do back extension because we want to even out the work that we had done. And then every class, and this is really good for runners, bridges. We do a bridge in every class. Like, remember when you were a kid in gym class where
stretch
you
out
lay on
your
the back,
core. Yeah.
and then feet on the floor, and you're kind of at that angle.
Okay.
It works your seat really well.
Oh, got it. Okay,
You know what I'm talking about? Kind of like that guy.
Yep.
So, and then we do a full body stretch after class, and that's your 50 minutes of classic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, okay, so let me get this right.
Yeah.
So you stretch in the middle of class.
Yes.
I love that.
It's such a great break because you're like, okay, I'm through 2 thighs. I have 2.5 more minutes, and then I get to stretch.
Yeah.
And it's a legitimate stretch.
Kind of like keeps you going.
Yes.
You know
that break is there, and then you're ready for the next. And so every class has the same flow, but you're going to have a different exercise every class so that you don't get bored.
Oh,
and
I
that your
love
muscles
that.
don't fall into, I already know how to do this.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that every class you could be getting up off your couch and haven't worked out in 10 years. Or you can be, I have one of my dear friends, she just ran Boston today.
Wow.
She's a client, and she qualified for Boston at Boston again today. Like,
wow.
it has strengthened her in different ways than before.
than just running.
Yeah.
And
Right.
cardio.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, but with what I'm saying that every class can be modified. You know, a couple of our teachers are actually former dancers, dance coaches, where they could probably touch their leg to their nose, okay? And then you have the person who just got off the sofa who can't bend down to tie their shoes, you know.
Right,
I mean, we
yeah.
have all ranges, all ages, all abilities.
Yeah.
And every class is modifiable. And once you get to a level, you can always level up. Mm-hmm. You could go to 3-pound weights.
Cool.
I finally graduated 3-pound weights in class.
Hey.
Yeah. Big moves.
Yeah, big moves. You know, or when a teacher sees that you look a little too comfortable in a position, they're like, oh, you can go an inch lower.
Yeah.
And they adjust you. We use hands-on corrections, which is so awesome also.
Yeah.
You might feel like you're being targeted, but but the teacher they can tell they're trained. They go to 4 full days of training in Colorado to know what they're doing. And after that training, they do a month of in-studio training.
Wow.
And then they have to test out.
Oh, wow.
They have to do a video.
That's pretty extensive. That's awesome.
Yeah. So they really take their job seriously, and they care. So they want to make sure that you're doing the best.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna spend the time to go in there,
Yes.
you want to know you're doing it right, so that
Right.
you get everything out of it that you're putting in.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes do I actually swear over my shoulder at the teacher? Yes, I do.
Don't tell me what to do.
Are you kidding? No, I'm not doing that.
But also good to know.
Yes, thank you. And afterwards, you're smiling and you say,
Yeah. Wow, that is awesome. So I know you mentioned the different, levels and the different kind of class options. Because anytime I've taken bar, and I was a former dancer, so I totally relate it to ballet. That's what it seems like to me.
Yes.
But I've never seen a cardio bar. So explain that.
Okay, so how that class flows, we have, because some people still want to get the cardio in.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a membership, and if that is your form of fitness that you love, and the only place you go, you want to be able to do as much as you can. And so we offer that we still have the classic components of bar, which you would recognize. You know, we don't call them positions, but, heels together, toes apart.
Yeah.
Bend your knees anyways, I won't go down that path. But, so you'll still do those components, but we will do larger movements in that class.
Okay.
Not as isometric. There are points that there are, but there are additional ways that we get your heart rate up. We use platforms. So there's some step motion.
Okay.
We use, in addition to you only use 2-pound weights in this class, but with that, we also have wrist and ankle weights.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Which adds additional resistance. And then in between the classic sections of class, we have what we call cardio boosts. So there's 2 of those where there are the like today we were doing mountain climbers. One time at the bar, one time on the floor. We were doing burpees. We were doing squat jumps.
Cool.
And the thing is, if that is not your level, then you step that squat jump out.
Oh, sure.
If a jumping burpee is not what you can do or want to do, then you do a step out version. You go down, step out, back up. So everything is modifiable in that. But I mean, you're sweating.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Darcy. We hate this today, but then we don't afterwards. So
Then you're fine.
Then you're fine. Yeah.
everything's good.
How many times per week do you do a class?
Personally, I would say 3 to 5.
3 to 5?
Just depends on the week.
That's really good.
My favorite, this would be my favorite workout day. I'm out the door running with my best friends anywhere between 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. Come home, greet the family and the kids, get them off to where they need to go. Then I do my work at my computer or go to the studio, do some things there that need to get done. And then I like to take the noon class typically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But then there are other times where I like to I enjoy the client so much that I mean, even if I don't like class or I don't do the class, sometimes I like to just pop in and say hi at 4:30 or 5:30. You know, sometimes I surprise the 5:15 a.m.ers with my presents, but that's when I prefer to run. I like to run in the dark before everybody gets up.
Yeah.
So noon is my preferred time.
Cool.
And it just depends on how the week goes. But 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that you, like, I guess, how do you keep that all in balance? Like a healthy workout balance.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
It does. I mean, some weeks, by the end of the week, you can feel that you're physically tired.
Yeah.
And then I will back off. But I'm a very scheduled person. Like, I go on vacation, and there might be a spreadsheet sometimes. I mean, if I don't know I will be back, there most likely will be a spreadsheet because I want to check all the boxes. So I'm the same way with my workouts.
Yeah.
But I do know enough that I'm like, okay, I simply can't do it today.
Sure.
So then I'll just go in and visit or what have you. Or, for example, like I was telling you guys before we started today, my friends and I are doing a 200-mile relay race. And so I would like to run every day this week. And I would like to take class every day this week, but I most likely won't.
Yeah.
My plan is ran today, class today, run tomorrow, class tomorrow, probably class on Wednesday. Then I'm done.
Yeah. Give yourself a break.
Yep. And then we start on Friday.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
So cool.
How do you stay motivated to keep that schedule? Or is it something, I mean, especially because you said you were not the typical, fitness junkie.
Yeah.
So how did you start to keep that schedule and stay committed to it?
I know. I mean, I can tell you, I see this every day.
Yeah.
The commitment and I get it. But having been a person that wasn't committed, I want to tell each person individually, like, just stick with it. Like, you can do this. Why personally I do, I just feel a calmness. Like, after a class, after a run, I feel my head is clear. I feel productive. I feel like a better version of myself. I mean, rather than slowing down in life, I mean, my friend and I, and she's a teacher as well, we just did the half a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I am 4 minutes faster this year than I was 10 years ago.
That's
crazy.
4 minutes a mile.
That's incredible.
Faster. And I mean, I'm not breaking any records. It's not like I feel like I'm going to be an adult Olympian, but I just feel good having these own little personal goals. Like, wow. And look at what, a role model you are to your kids.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, this is so hard. I'm like, I understand.
Yes.
It's not always easy, but you can still do it.
It's definitely possible.
And it pays off too.
That you're talking about how good you feel. I think that's such a, well, and this is actually leads into our next question, but I think a big misunderstanding about just fitness in general is that, it's about how you look and it's about how, you fit into your clothes. And reality, there's just so many great things about mentally and just well-being that comes from exercising. But what are some common misunderstandings or assumptions that you hear, whether it's around bar or just fitness in general?
The biggest one, and I probably have friends who have said this, what have you, but so I apologize, but I don't.
Sorry, not sorry.
You have to be fit to get fit. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You have to start to get fit. And I understand this as well because, as I said, asthmatic cheerleader, I would be the second to last. I made sure I wasn't the last, but when we would have to do the mile for gym, second to last, literally. So I understand what it's like to not feel you're at the top of your game. But with commitment, you can do, and you don't have to be as good as you or as good as you, but you can just be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And the mental aspect is so important to me. Like, there have been times where my kids, my husband, did you go for a run today? No. Maybe you should.
Like they can see it in your energy.
Or today in class, I was a little preoccupied for a while, and my friend Barb, the teacher today, she gave me a look like, you are not walking out today.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
You will be happy, because I'm like, oh, if I just left after thighs, I could go and I can do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
No. I finished the class for 20 more minutes and I got X, Y, Z done and much more.
Yeah.
And felt so great. But I do like your point about the weight loss, or you didn't say weight loss, but clients have come in or prospects have come in and they're like, well, will I lose weight?
Yes.
Our gauge is not whether or not you lose pounds. It is how you feel. And also there is the exercise that we do, there is just, it's not tailored towards women, but it is very complimentary to women.
Yeah.
I mean, we do a lot, like the oblique work and whatever. It just gives you that nice curve. And like, your clothes are just going to fit.
Yeah.
They're just, when you put those jeans on, you're just going to feel happy. It might not be a size smaller, but they're just going to feel good.
Yes.
And some are. I mean, we've had clients that have had that experience as well.
Which is
I
amazing.
love that. That's so great.
It's such a benefit and an added value to feel confident in your own skin and in your clothes.
And part of it also, I mean, we are very much about alignment and posture. You understand this being a dancer. The way you carry yourself is different as well.
Totally.
The whole aspect of not just the act of exercise, but being in a group where you see these same people, the noon people tend to be the noon people, the 5 a.m.ers, you know about each other.
Yeah.
You show up for each other. You want to know what's going on in each other's lives. Like there's that whole team aspect, which feels so good
like that
too.
Community of support.
Community.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I'm sure accountability. We
Right.
talked a lot
We
about
did.
that on our last podcast with Kelsey about just having an accountability partner. And when you know everybody in your 5 a.m. class, if you're not there, they're going to be like, where's Paige?
Yeah.
What the heck? Why is she not here this morning?
Yeah.
When I was doing the Faster, Stronger Runners, I was training for my first marathon. And I had already paid for the entire session, so it didn't matter if I came or not. But the gal who was leading the program, she called me out of the blue and, how are you? Are you injured? Is everything okay? What's going on? And then I explained just that with marathoning is very scheduled.
Yeah.
And so it just didn't work with the plan at that point. And I went back after. But just to have somebody that cared,
Checked up
reached
on
out
you.
to me.
Yeah.
Even though she had the check, she still actually was concerned about where I was and how I was.
That's
Feels
incredible.
Good. Yeah.
That does. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Because I feel like too, a lot of it goes back to even having a healthy mindset and practicing that every day, whether it involves fitness or not. So what are certain ways that you try to practice a healthy mindset?
Well, some days are easier than others, but like I said, starting the day by myself, preferably with friends, talking about how the whole day, the goods, the bads, the everythings. When it's dark, you're parallel, you get it all out there right away before your day start. That helps. I also it's kind of Buddy the elf-ish. But I do kind of like to spread joy. Like, it feels good to go out into my day like that. I like to make people smile. I will smile at strangers. Today, as I was leaving the studio, I had to drive today. Typically, I like to ride my bike if I can. Anyways, because I live in the Hawthorne neighborhood just south of downtown.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
So, we love downtown. Anyways, as I was leaving the studio, I went by the post office, and there was this gal who was probably 20 years older than me, I would guess. And she just looked like the picture of health. I'm like, I would see you in a mountain town, I imagine. And she just looked fantastic. A glow about her. And I was driving by so quick, I decided I wanted to tell her. And I went around the block to come back.
Oh my gosh.
And she was gone already. But I'm like, those are things
But you
that
made the
make me
effort.
happy. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Those are my healthy mindset things. It doesn't, not every day is awesome. So sometimes you need to take a breather.
Yeah.
Do your own things. Sometimes you just need a wine night with friends.
Yep.
Dark corner and Duffy's sometimes if it's a really bad day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
feel like the world needs more people that are willing to give those compliments to strangers or
Yeah.
just be more open. So I like that you said that.
Yeah, we live in such a world where sometimes it's like, why did she say that to me? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, people almost are like, what? But
Or
we
overanalyze.
needed so much,
Yeah.
just those comments. I'm sure that would have made her entire day.
When somebody lets me cross the street, thank you.
Yes.
And I was like, what are you doing? We're in New York. Like, oh,
That's what they're supposed to do.
right. Thank you. It was nice. They let us cross.
Oh, no, I think that's great. I think you should keep doing that.
Thanks.
And, okay, I have to go back to this because you've mentioned running.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning, in the dark. And I totally agree. I hate running in the daylight. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just, like, when you run in the dark, you kind of forget you're running, I feel like. But how do you do that living in North Dakota when the 4 months at minimum out of the year are negative?
Oh, it's longer than that. There is a lot of inclement weather.
Like, that is, like, the, like, ultimate
On a
winter.
good year. Yeah.
The last thing I do before I go to bed is check the weather, lay my clothes out. The first thing I do is I'm brushing my teeth and taking my inhalers is check the weather and determine which way the wind is going because I always want to go into the wind first.
Oh, okay.
But I will, one of our local running stores, Beyond Running, got the right shoes. Like you need Gore-Tex shoes with grips on the bottom. Some people go with these yak tracks, they're called. They're these contraptions you stick on. Too much for me. I just like, because sometimes you can hear them clicking.
Yeah.
Anyways, so good shoes. The running tights. The shirt or like the jackets are so lightweight but yet insulating that it's very surprising. Like if you saw me, you would think that I was
Freezing.
running inside rather than outside. They're just they're windproof, and then you put a layer underneath. My biggest thing is the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's kind of challenging. We did get a little soft during COVID times. There was a stretch that was really, really, really cold where we would have one of our husbands drop us off however far away we wanted to run so that the wind was at our backs the whole time.
Yes,
There you
that's
go.
smart.
For Christmas, I also got a pair of mittens that you can charge because my fingers will turn white.
What?
So you
I need
charge
those.
them. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And they are
really good.
heated?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Stop it. I
always
need
have
those
cold
even if I
hands.
weren't running.
Yes, that's what I'm
If
saying.
you're ever a hockey parent, they're great.
Yeah.
A ski parent, they're great. Yeah.
Those are so cool. I've never even heard that's a thing. Like I remember going to like sports outings with those. You'd shake them.
Yes,
hot
the packets.
Oh,
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Those always run out.
Yeah, they do.
Wow. Okay,
Cool.
so you're telling
Okay,
me you
noted.
still run in the negative
yeah.
below. Oh my gosh.
I would say the coldest, the most traumatic in my head was when we were training for the first marathon, and it was an 18-mile run that we did on a Thursday night, which is not my time of day, but you have to adjust sometimes.
Yeah.
And it was like 20 below zero.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Sat in the shower for a half an hour, clothed in flannel pajamas, sweatshirt, and went straight to bed.
Yeah. Well
That's
deserved.
not-
Well deserved. Yeah.
Most days we make it work. And sometimes, I mean, in these conditions, sometimes we will go at least when the sun does come up.
Sure.
Because having the sun
Helps
out
a
little,
ton, I'm
it
sure.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wow.
Do you ever have like a mantra or something that you continue to repeat that helps to keep you inspired?
That's a good one. I don't know that it's necessarily a mantra. I think it's just kind of the whole mindset. But,
Yeah.
You know, making other people happy, not catering to, but making
Yeah.
other people's day makes my day.
Mm-hmm.
So leaving the door like that makes me happier.
It sounds like you're your best self when you take time to do that,
Yeah.
which then reflects into
Yes.
everyone else that you come into contact with. But, and I know you've touched on this a little bit, but it's clear you know how to motivate yourself. Like, that is not a problem. What do you do to help motivate people who just feel so stuck within, seeing those as an option?
I don't know if it would be, I feel like I see a pattern, like the question that you're asking. I feel like a lot of people, they have the end goal in sight.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be the fit best version of myself, and I want it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is definitely not tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It is one block at a time. It is one, and so explaining to people, to have the accountability partners, to be starting with a schedule. And don't think that you're supposed to start at 5 days a week. That's not necessarily your best plan. Mm-hmm. Know yourself. And if that is if you ease into it and you see that I am 5 days a week, mm-hmm. then that's great. Yeah. But sometimes just giving yourself the grace of, okay, I'm going to do it today. We had a client that just came to our first class last Thursday. She had a baby in July. She thought that barre would be easy.
Oh gosh.
Oh. Because it does look easy.
Yeah. You don't feel like you're moving a lot, but you are working a lot.
Exactly. And after class, she was like, that's not what I was expecting. She was back again today. She's like, I don't think I looked great, but I am so happy I came. And so we were talking her through. She's like, I thought I only wanted to come 8 times a month. Mm-hmm. I think I want to come unlimited, So we're like, well, let's keep doing this for the next couple weeks. Yeah. Let's get you acclimated to the classic classes. Then we'll try another format. Yeah. And then we will switch you over to the next package so that you don't get so overwhelmed. You're like, well, I'm not good at this.
Then just give up.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Totally.
Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yes. Somebody said it. I'm like, what does that mean? I looked it up and I understand now. Don't throw everything out. Yeah. Just throw out the one thing. So that's why we're like, just start small and grow from there.
Totally. Yeah. That's a great way to look at it, is just to put together a plan, mm-hmm. whether you wrote it down. Mm-hmm. I definitely need to, and I think replanning is a big thing, because mm-hmm. people fall off. Like, I think of myself, like, I've definitely fallen off kind of what I used to do. Now I'm like, as you're talking, I'm like, I just need to replan and reconstruct my goal.
And don't beat yourself up about it. Mm-hmm. We all have those weeks. We have those times. Mm-hmm. Life gets out of control, and you just pivot then. Yeah. And you know what's important to you, and you recommit.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah. And having, again, the accountability partners.
Huge.
Like we've mentioned a couple times now, is important. Yeah. They're your best cheerleaders. They want the best for you. So.
And they're going through it too.
Yep.
So you can relate
it together. Yeah. Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit about the package options and kind of how that all works with Pure Barre?
What I like to do, Pure Barre is a franchise. Mm-hmm. There's over 500 locations nationwide, one in Canada. We actually had a client, Florida, Chicago. She's visiting Fargo. They're going to be moving here. Visit today. Yeah, so that's always fun to see other Pure Barre clients and team members. But anyways, in general, so the corporation, they offer first class free.
Oh, nice.
I think that is nice. However, with my own experience with barre, I'm like, first class, I hated it.
First class, you're just kind of like...
No, then you're probably not going to go back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I get that.
It's intimidating, and everybody else in class knows what they're doing. Why do I suck? Well, you don't. It's different. And barre is not popular here yet. Yeah. We hope it to be someday, but it's just a different form of fitness. So what I like to do in my own studio, don't let corporate see this, is I like to offer a week or 2 free.
Wow.
So that you can really come in, get acclimated, fall in love, because you will. Because in 2 weeks even, you will just feel like a better version of yourself. If you go more than once,
Mm-hmm.
You have to go at least 3 times a week is what I suggest when you start out. And then from there, what I like to do is they always have promotions, like I think right now it's a month for $99. But after the 2 weeks, we kind of, there's the 2 weeks and then there's the month.
Sure.
The month unlimited, try that for $99. And at the end of the trial, we like to see how often do you use the bar.
Got it.
Are you a person that can only take a class on the weekend because you're traveling during the week or this or that? Then a 4 time a month would be good for you. We have a 4 time a month and 8 time a month, which you can use any way you choose. Then we have the class packs. We have a 10 class pack, a 20 class pack. Those I kind of steer away from. Like, it doesn't offer the consistency necessarily, and that's what people need.
Yeah. Like, I have 4 to use this month. I got to go for it.
Got to use it.
Exactly.
So I'm going to do it every Saturday, or I'm going to do it Tuesday, Thursdays. So, and then there's the unlimited, which is popular. Some of our clients, even if it's an option, we will allow them to take 2 classes a day.
Oh, wow.
But it has to be different formats.
Okay.
And only if everyone else has got to take a class that wants to. Like, you will stay on a wait list until 2 hours before.
Sure.
And we have 2 to 3 that like to do that. So, yeah. And it's all over how people access it. But there's a lot when they're committed. They just are committed.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, I like feeling the buy-in, like this is our place most of the time.
Yeah. That is
COVID
awesome.
threw some curveballs where we had to switch things up, and not everybody adapts as well. And we're still trying to rebuild that.
But it's nice that you guys can make it your own. That is awesome.
Where do you guys see, because I know you said 2018 is when you opened, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But you guys have already really made a name for yourself, especially in the downtown community and over Fargo. So where do you hope to see Pure Barre go in the next 5 years?
Good question. Continued growth. I mean, I would love to be able to have a class every hour, where there's just so many people that now understand bar. And that's, in the next 5 years, is community outreach to get people to understand the benefits of Pure Barre. Exciting news. So my partner is in Bozeman, which in itself is just challenging in that she doesn't get to be there for the day today.
Sure.
And there's just natural things that happen throughout the day that you can't really translate. You forget about it, what have you. So that has been kind of a challenge. She's been such a great resource because she was an owner, is an owner. But by serendipity, chance, there's a gal who's originally from Fargo, and she owns the Billings, Montana studio.
Okay.
But moved back to Fargo.
Sure.
Her and her husband are West Fargo residents. She originally wanted to open a Pure Barre in Fargo, and she wasn't granted it because she didn't live in Fargo.
Sure.
There was no one physically here. And then my circumstances, that's why we opened. But now that she's back, she's taking classes and what have you. Her and my partner are going to switch by the end of the year, and I'm going to have a partner in town.
Oh my gosh. How could that work out any better?
I know.
That's so meant to be. That's really
just
cool.
Landed where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So that's exciting by the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to growing with a partner in town.
Yeah.
Totally.
That'll be awesome. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
That'll
Being
be
able to
super
bounce
exciting.
ideas off and
breath of fresh air, I'm sure, too. Just some new ideas. How cool.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick break to highlight our sponsor of today's episode.
Joyful, honest, emotional, unscripted. These are a few words that make up Nicole Midwest Photography. Nicole Midwest is a Midwest-based photographer but is willing to travel anywhere for her clients to capture their true love.
Nicole prides herself on capturing wild love. She has been shooting weddings since 2017 and has a team of 8 behind her. Nicole Midwest also offers mini sessions. Check out her website, NicoleMidwest.com, to learn more. We've started a segment on the podcast where we ask you if you've ever had a moment that maybe you shouldn't have done something. We always say, as you should.
Yeah.
We always like to cheer you on, say, yes, as you should do that. But you just made a great point how life doesn't always go the way you plan. So is there a moment that, whether it's a bit embarrassing story or something that you just couldn't even prepare, that you were like, man, that shouldn't have happened, or I shouldn't have done this?
But it was a really great lesson.
Yeah.
You learned from it.
There was this one I'm not even smiling about. This one I feel very bad about.
Oh boy.
Well, so if we're going to be honest,
Yeah.
there was, like I've said, that people feel very invested in the studio, and that is a compliment. And
Yeah.
I am so honored that people feel that way. However, sometimes it goes a little beyond.
Okay.
And so, and I'm not a confrontational person. Like, I try to avoid that at all costs. Not a great characteristic. But so, with that said, I did not. I actually confronted, but I didn't intend to do it at the moment.
Sure.
I asked the client if she would like to speak about something that I thought she had on her mind. And she did it right there. And
Ooh.
it got a little escalated.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
And is this like in the studio, like kind of in front of everybody? Oh no.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I
no.
was, in the moment, I couldn't even realize that I was mortified. As soon as it was done, I looked at one of my teachers and I'm like,
What just happened?
oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah, because that is just not my personality in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like things work themselves out, or I hope. That did not. So, had to do that. Followed up with a couple of clients that witnessed it. Luckily, they already had an understanding.
Yeah.
They totally understood. But I'm like, I did feel somewhat empowered. I mean, so I did learn a lesson from it. Again, I will make sure it doesn't happen in front of people.
Yeah.
Surely will not do it in front of people. But I was happy that I had the courage that day to do it. I felt very good. And then to follow up, like I actually made a phone call to one of the clients that witnessed it rather than texting.
Wow.
Texted a couple, and they were very complimentary and supportive. So, I mean, and these are the things that ruminate. Like, I don't know how long I thought about this conversation before I actually acted on it.
Yeah.
And, so I spent so much wasted time just thinking, I'm like, in the future, just say it.
Just say
That's
it.
such a good point.
At the appropriate time. Ladies.
Yes.
Right.
Ideally at the ideal time, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that. And what a great way to handle it, to reach out to everyone who kind of felt involved accidentally.
Yeah.
That is a great thing to, I don't know that I would have even thought to do that. That was a great way to handle that.
Yeah. Sweating again about that. Anyways.
Good lessons learned.
Well, hey,
Hope I
you
don't
learned
have to
from
do
it.
that
Yeah.
again, but I know I can. So
That's good. That's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
So we have a really fun game, but we do always ask the people on the podcast, what does a queen mean to you? Or is there a story that you witnessed where you saw a woman being a true queen?
I would say a queen is the person who is living their best lives, doing their best thing. A queen is willing to help other queens. You guys are doing a great job of that. I would say that's it. And I like queens that aren't the obvious queens also, where it's just they have that. You just feel that about them. Yeah.
That's
I
a great
love that.
answer.
Your best
Yeah.
self. Yes.
Best self, helping others, being humbled
Yes.
about it is a great way to say that too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, love it.
That's good.
All right, well, we do have a game for you.
Is it a competitive game?
It actually isn't. So I wish after talking with you, we should have had
made it.
something that had
Better
some
enough.
prize in it. But this is more of a kind of rapid fire game where we are going to ask you your Pure Barre picks. So we're going to be giving you different...
My personal Pure Barre picks.
Your personal. So we're
Yes.
going to give you different categories that are all kind of centered around fitness and wellness, and we want you to tell us essentially your favorites or what you do to kind of satisfy these different areas.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
And I'm going to write these down as you say them. Okay.
So the first one is going to be pre-workout fuel.
Oh, I'm a bad one at that one. I'm a bad one at that one. I would say, I mean, if I'm going to have to pre-fuel, it's probably going to be a tablespoon of peanut butter.
There you go.
Actually, I mean,
yes.
if I have to, it's going to be a base. With the classes themselves, when we're doing ab work, I don't want anything gurgling, churgling in my stomach. Mm-hmm. When I go out for a run, same thing. But peanut butter is a good little bit of energy, just enough. And I have to have gum.
Really?
I chew gum.
While you're in class?
We're not supposed to. It's against the rules. Huh. But it helps me focus.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Rule breaker. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Well, hey. If it gets you through class, that's great.
Props to you.
And gum. All right. Peanut butter and gum. All right. What about a post-workout meal?
My friend Barb's a good resource. So with her help, I try to do the protein route.
Okay.
And this is a very important one. I used to be a really bad offender. Like, I would not have lunch until 2-3 o'clock.
Okay.
And then you're ravenous. So then I'm eating, like the chocolate bar I got today, you guys. If you've ever been to Youngblood Coffee. Okay. They have dark chocolate, vanilla bourbon.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, yum.
That sounds
so good.
I'm like, my mouth
That's
is watering.
not what you're supposed to have post-workout though. So I like to do like a turkey cheese roll-up.
Okay.
Hard-boiled eggs. What else is a good one? Cottage cheese.
That's always good.
Those base thing. I am a light lunch eater. I like to have a solid dinner. Mm-hmm. My worst offense is having a super sugar-filled chai tea every morning. Like, I'm not kidding, like 11 teaspoons of sugar, I think at one point I measured. So bad.
But so good.
So good.
So good.
But you have to do a little collagen before that so you don't have the insulin spikes and drops and things.
Collagen. Really?
Powdered collagen and water.
Yeah, like the vital proteins?
Aniston. Yeah. So I do that first, and then I get to treat myself, and it all balances out throughout the day.
Yeah.
So everybody gets to have a guilty pleasure, I think.
Yeah.
That's one of mine.
That's yours. Okay.
But post-workout, protein.
Any kind.
Just standard. Yep.
Fitness, fashion.
Okay. In the studio, obviously leggings. Beyond Yoga has always been one of my favorites. Space dye. Really soft. My new kind of favorite, just because I am short, and the 7/8 inch leggings, 7/8 length, with my ankles, they just kind of square out. They aren't tight. You know what I'm talking about? So this brand that we started carrying, Tavi Noir.
Oh, okay.
They have the perfect legging for me. So that is currently my favorite legging. I'm a muscle tank. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite. Mm-hmm. I like high and straight. And then I always like to have something over. It's probably a puffer or something. And my running shoes or Birkenstocks or Chacos. That's my studio workout. Outside, running shorts, again, puffers, things like that.
And do you stick with like multiple brands, or do you have some favorites besides the Beyond?
Beyond, Aloe, the Tavi's a new one. I do like Lulu, Athleta.
Yeah.
With those. Mm-hmm. I tend to buy things from the studio because I get a discount, obviously. So, yeah. What's some other brands that we carry? Gosh, Chaser.
These are good ones that I've never heard of.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I need to
different things
take
like
a
that.
peek.
But Beyond Yoga, I would say, is probably hands down my favorite.
Yeah.
Even the tops that they have are just such a soft, cottony feel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look into that.
Yeah. Same.
We're actually getting some cute new tanks that we have a local shirt maker downtown, Shirts from Fargo.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anton's. She's a client, and we're having these really cute tops made that are area code 701, and the 0 is the Pure Barre logo because our logo is that.
Yeah.
And then a little Fargo.
All right.
They're
stay
going to be
tuned.
there this week. Yeah.
So
yeah.
send us photos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we'll
will post
promote
them.
those. Yeah. I love that.
Gym bag essentials.
Okay. Usually I just carry a little bag. I'm a pretty light traveler, but when I do have a bag, definitely has a couple pairs of sticky socks. Those are so important in class
Okay.
when you're in those high toe positions,
Oh,
what
sure.
have you. So they have little grippers on the bottom. So I'll have a couple pairs of those, and usually somebody forgets theirs, so I'll share. Gum, deodorant. I like to have, I'll bring my wallet along because you never know where you're going to be after class.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
something fun may happen and you need to be prepared. And so I'll always have something to throw over my shirt because you can always pull off the leggings.
Yes.
True.
So to have something to put over a hat occasionally, everything else, like in the studio, we have the dry shampoo. Like this is why I'm kind of spoiled. So I wouldn't have, that's why I usually travel pretty light. We have the dry shampoo, the deodorant, the hairspray. We even have a blow dryer for people. So I don't need a lot. Lip gloss.
Lip gloss.
That's
There you
fun.
go. Yep.
Definitely. Okay.
So,
Sunglasses.
every day.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yes.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
You actually brought up a good point, and I'm curious if I've just been dying to ask this because I can't wash my hair all the time because it's long. So I dry shampoo the heck out of it after workout. Probably not the best thing. But is there any other like refresh product that you think is good?
So after sweating, like I will blow dry a little. And then there's this Aveda product that adds just like a little, because as you can see, I have big hair. So I need like, otherwise I look kind of like a drowned rat. Like literally just go like that. And it's called Pure Abundance, I think. Anyways, you put a little bit of that in there. So
Is it
that
powder?
brings my back to life. And you don't want it to smell. So then there's also the Shampure. So that is a dry shampoo, but that I love because it smells so good.
I have heard of this stuff. I've never used it.
And I like shine too. So I always have, I am more high maintenance than I think. Yeah. Because then there's the, it's in the blue bottle, the light effects or something. Because you like to have a little shine, not the sweaty shine. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to post those.
Those, yeah.
Must add to cart.
Must
I
add.
get them all at Swan Duo downtown.
That's right.
As you
Oh.
should. Okay, back to the game. We have a couple more for you.
Yes.
Muscle reliever.
Okay, so I do have BioFreeze. I tend to not use that very often unless it's bad. I do have the foam roller that has the bumps all over it. Kind of painful. I also got one of those fascia, like the trigger guns.
Yes. It starts with a T, right?
Theragun.
Yeah.
Theragun, yeah.
Yes.
You know, it starts out where you hold your breath, but then by the end it feels so good. And you can even do it on your own shoulders, you know, if you've gotten tight. One of my teachers, Carly, love her, beautiful dancer. Every class without fail, your shoulders. Nicole really actually shoulder. So I make sure to use the gun on my shoulders too. Not that I still carry it out there, but I try.
Yeah.
All right. De-stressor.
Ooh, time with friends.
There you go.
Yeah. Especially, you know, the morning time and then the evening time. It seems like I hang out with my friends in the dark a lot, but
Whatever works.
That's my favorite. And exercise. I mean, so I'm combining the two. Or like, you know, like one of the girlfriends, she has a place outside of Aspen. And it's a little mountain condo. And like, that was just my perfect de-stressor a couple days where you wake up, go for a run, come back, have your coffee, go do a beautiful hike at the halfway point, have a beer, hike back.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yes.
What
come
a
back.
day.
Yes. Like those are my favorite de-stressors. Those are things you can't do always. So we make it work in Fargo just by the simple things.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Great
How
ideas.
fun.
You mentioned beer, but what are your other hydration, either hacks or hydration favorites?
For sure. I've even been tracking, like, how many waters are you drinking? Because I notice if I'm tired around 2, 3 o'clock, the days that I haven't hydrated enough, that's a factor.
Really?
Totally.
Wow.
Like, if you get that mid-afternoon kind of headache, fog, tiredness, it's usually that. But then, so what I like to do around that time, if I'm not going to bed early or what have you, noon hydration tablets. It's NUUN.
Oh,
cool.
They have just standard hydration for after you've done a workout. But the one I like to do is green tea caffeinated. And they have all sorts of flavors. Like the one that I had today was a ginger lemon or something. And they have watermelon, tropical punch, cherry limeade. So good.
wow.
So that I like to do, especially on hard workout days where you've done a couple of things.
A little bit more sweating than usual.
It has the electrolytes, it has the sodium, it has the vitamins and things. So water that.
Okay,
And
amazing.
Then, after a run, you can have a beer.
Reward yourself.
Always have, gotta have the beer too.
Gotta have
balance.
Okay, what about favorite music or playlist?
That depends. Just any time of the day?
Maybe when you're in class. Like, what's your favorite playlist to do in class?
Gosh. There was one kickback. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Barb, our teacher, she occasionally just makes up her own because we know the certain counts, like how many beats you have to have per exercise.
Totally.
She put together an Avett Brothers
Love
playlist when they were in town.
Oh, cool.
That was my favorite.
Oh my gosh, that is like...
She did an Alabama one when they came to town, so that was all country.
That is so fun.
Yeah. And Pure Barre does do, so every month they release 4 new playlists per format.
Okay.
And then they do a couple of special ones. Like this month, it's Katy Perry's birthday.
Cool.
On the 23rd, 25th, something like that.
Okay.
So there's going to be a Katy Perry playlist
Cool.
for classes.
Oh, that's awesome.
But if I was just generally listening to music, I made one on Spotify called Mountain Times.
Yeah.
And it just has all my favorite chill or
Mountain music.
Mountain music. Yeah. Mountain music.
Oh, well, okay. Perfect. Everything you said, we are going to be searching for, linking, putting on social, because that was a lot of gold in that whole game.
Yeah. That's why I hope you go back and listen and write it down. But okay, so where can people find you and connect and learn more?
Okay. Well, we are downtown Fargo. This is something that I'm glad you guys asked, actually. If you're not comfortable with downtown or very familiar with downtown, we are in the Roberts Commons building. Mm-hmm. It's on 2nd Avenue and a block off of Broadway. Roberts Street and 2nd Avenue. And people are like, well, the parking. I guarantee you will always park within 1 block of the studio. Guarantee. There's on-street parking, free for an hour and a half during daytime hours. Mm-hmm. And truthfully, I've parked there much longer. It just depends on when the meter readers go by. Yeah. Anyways, but you do get an hour and a half for free anywhere downtown. I've always had luck on 2nd Avenue. Anyways, in addition, Roberts Commons Garage, parking lot, ramp parking. There's 7 or 8 levels, free for 2 hours.
Nice.
During day hours.
Cool.
After 5 o'clock, and on weekends, it's unlimited. So you can go take a class, meet your friend for a glass of wine, go meet your friends for coffee, lunch, whatever.
Everything all out, one stop.
Yes, one stop. But so we're located at 615 2nd Avenue North on the corner of Roberts Alley. A lot of people know where Scoop and Dough is. We're right next door.
Ironic.
And then we have power plates on the other side in 2nd Avenue Nutrition. Balance, right? So you can, that's our physical location. Instagram, we're at Pure Barre Fargo on Instagram. Facebook, Pure Barre Fargo. Mm-hmm. I know for sure you can find it that way. And then our phone number is 701-552-0624.
Perfect.
Amazing.
And Fargo at purebarre.com or Nicole at
We'll
have it all
link all
linked.
that so
Yeah.
it's easy for people to find.
Yes.
This was so fun.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for all the
This was
motivation. I'm like ready to go hit the gym now.
I know, same. Cheers to that, guys.
Cheers to
Good.
Pure Barre. Thank you.
ladies.